We are doing introducing to Gamora, the 5-star Gamora. Um, so we'll run through all five of these here. Use the different events to talk about the comic book history of Gamora. Well, according to each of these notes here, and talk about who all she can be paired up with. So here, um, the synergy, I guess, that's behind them. I guess Nova is gonna be sending us airborne, and then all the stuff that both Super Scroll and Lizard will do with their green tiles, whether it's endothermic, um, doing damage based on how many green. I mean, hell, it's blue and purple tiles is on the board. On the board, the black ability prevents the black prevents some physical damage done to him, and also to stun. And then the purple ability creates repeater tiles, and when they get up to the top of the board, they'll do their thing. And then Super Scroll, he can do one of four things with his blue ability: either go invisible, create protect tiles, create attack tiles, or um, I think he also creates protect tiles too. I know it's attack tiles with both the oh my goodness, the Human Torch ability and the Thing ability, but that's only if you down an opponent. Also too, he can also generate blue anytime his blue ability activates. Um, Green is a random board shape. Does team damage, and his purple ability steals special tiles from us. Whenever the countdown tile reaches zero, and if we fire for power while he's shape shifted, he does some uh, some tile boosting. All right. So we got Gamora, we got Thanos. Well, Thanos is either a 3-star or 5-star version. They're more or less the same, with the exception of they're purple and black. Um, Court Death with 5-star Thanos stuns everybody for 2 turns, but other than that, they both do team damage and they do retaliatory damage to the allies. The purple abilities increase the amount of match damage that they do. Um, for 3-star Thanos, I think it's like a percentage. 5-star Thanos is a percentage as well. Though the 3 stars is a little bit higher than the 5-star, because the 5-star has much higher match damage. And then finally, the green ability, Thanos gets out in front, absorbs all the damage, and then does direct team damage to the enemy team. And then the 4-star version does damage based on um, the team or the character's affiliation. So if you got characters who happen to be heroes, he'll do additional damage to all heroes. Blue removes some number of enemy strike, attack, and protect tiles from the board, and then converts those to green. And then green is a 32 tile board shape. It is damage based on the number of special tiles that's destroyed. But now the star of the show, Gamora. We'll talk about her real quick. Alright, so her Blade of Finesse, this costs 9. it deals team damage, and then additional damage based on the number of enemies that have been downed during the fight. So if you're in a wave node, you fire off the ability, it does team damage, and then the target gets dealt a max of 3 times whatever the listed damage might be. So at level 5, again, team damage, and then additional damage to whoever's the target. Well, it's assassin. This is that the countdown tile that does how can I put it? It does target damage to the opponent. As long as the countdown tile is on the board and you're focusing on that target, they'll get dealt additional damage. And then whenever the countdown tile is above 10, if the enemy fires off a power, the countdown tile gets destroyed and then does damage to the target or to that character. As in, that's a passive portion. So the active portion, again, deals damage, creates countdown tile. And at least it's fortified. And then Pulse Disruption is a yellow ability. It costs 7. It's a 2-turn repeater tile. It stuns a random person for 1 turn and makes it so that any moves that prevent damage mitigation, so that's projectiles. If you're using someone like 4-star Juggernaut, if you're using what's my boy name, Colossus or Scarlet Witch, like those powers there can't be reduced at all. So it's a solid ability. You just got to you can't just use it all willy-nilly. You just got to, pick and choose the time when you want to, fire it off. I know you're gonna heal, so just gotta deal with it. No heals, no heals, get stunned, everybody dies. Alright, now that one was pretty easy. Okay, so we gotta actually use Nebula, so I guess we'll talk about Nebula. Oh, and we use Thanos too. Great. So let's use the 4-star version instead of my 5, because I already know the match damage with 5-star Thanos is probably enough to finish her off. Alright, so Nebula, obviously you can see she's green, blue, and red. Her blue ability, Grim Efficiency, costs 8, creates a repeater tile on the board, and it heals her for whatever the listed amount is. Oh, Warped Enhancements. Grim Efficiency is the red ability. Okay, yeah, and then she also creates an attack tile. I knew it was something else I was missing. Really, I leave this here at 3 because, well, her other 2 abilities are somewhat decent. Galactic Raids, this costs 10. Does damage to the enemy team, but you need um, strike, attack, and protect tiles on the board to increase the damage. So if you have at least 10 strike, attack, or protect tiles on the board, you'll do 9,000 damage. Alright? So you see the warped enhancements in that tie into one another, as well as the Grim Efficiency. Grim Efficiency, this costs, I believe it's 8. I know it creates strike tiles based on the number of green tiles that you have. Okay, attack tiles. I'm thinking of what's her name? Dazzler, that creates strike tiles, but she creates 2 attack tiles for every 3 green AP that she has. So again, if you have 9 green AP when you fire this here off, she'll create 6 attack tiles on the board, and then of course the listed damage. And like I said, Thanos again. I usually leave him again at 355 because he's a part of one of the infinite wind engines with Beta Ray Bill and Polaris. You get at least 12 green on the board and enough projectiles on the board. You destroy some number of projectiles on the board because of Thanos' powers. Then Polaris will recover whatever projectiles or strike tiles or whatever strike, attack, or projectiles are on the board. Beta Ray Bill, he gains AP based on the number of strike, attack, based on the number of projectiles destroyed, and rinse and repeat. And of course, Nebula's team affiliation is Guardians of the Galaxy and Heroes, and Thanos. Well, his villains. Again, being pretty obvious about it. There's the team damage. Well, at least Thanos is out in front to absorb some of that. And then we're just waiting on the red. Good combination there. Alright, so we'll do Grim Efficiency first. Then we'll do this to heal. And then we're going to fire off Galactic Raids twice. That should be enough to finish her off, and it is. Alright, looks like mindless ones are next. Don't really have to talk about these guys here because, well, they're annoying, they fire off powers, and we get the chance to use Nova. Well, Nova happens to create strike tiles with his yellow ability based on the number of allies he has in the remainder of the fight. So since it's just him and Gamora, it'll be 1 strike tile. His black ability creates strike tiles on the board, and if you reach whatever the threshold is for the black, it'll do a decent amount of damage. And then of course his red ability sends everybody airborne. Now Yes, sir. Just say, yep. Okay. So yeah, I had to do a little quick interruption, but well, the reason why I keep Nova's takeoff at 5, again, the airborne status is still the same. The damage is going to be a lot more significant at level 3. You see, it's 200. I mean, 25, 25, 30, and here again, that's 9337. And again, this is a champion max Nova. And then, of course, you create strike tiles on the board. You get stronger strike tiles if you don't have enough red. Whereas the danger zone, again, while the damage is good, again, the conditions that you have to meet up to get the danger zone to activate, I mean, it's a little bit rough. But I mean, with Polaris, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit easier, but by the time you got enough strike tiles on the board to use danger zone, and the enemy should be dead. So that's the reason, again, the reason why he's at 5 after. And then also too, if you remember in the video that I was talking about in the Marvel Puzzle Quest Ultimate Guide. Remember, we'll be using a lot of strike tiles to bypass all these protect tiles on the board. Once we get the attack tile, once we get strike tiles on the board, I should say. Probably not gonna have much of a choice but to let the purple resolve. Alright. Alright, we got more. Yeah, well, we're gonna be taking a little bit of damage here, so it's alright. Let's see. Okay, I'll add the strike tiles on the board in a minute. Alright, at least we don't have to worry about purple anymore. I mean, I could use her yellow ability to just bypass all the projectile nonsense, but yeah. Oh, now find out. Mm-mm. See. Send him airborne, because that'll be more than enough to kill him. And this, oh, activate danger zone. I've been in the danger zone, as Macho Man Randy Savage would say. Like I said, that's mostly Nova Strike tiles there, and getting one of those protect tiles. So carried me to victory there. This one here, well, we already know that Savage, he's annoying the brute, but with protect tiles, and Devastator with strike tiles. And so this time we get a chance to use our entire roster. So let's use one of her natural partners, Rocket, because again, the Guardians of the Galaxy synergy, stronger strike tiles from Rocket, and then again I probably could use Polaris, but we're gonna try and keep it a little bit a little different, so to speak. Star-Lord. Now, the idea behind this here, Star-Lord, again, is going to make everybody's power cheaper for this yellow ability. There will be, once we at least get one of Gamora's repeater tiles on the board, we won't have to worry too much about anything else from Star-Lord, because the enemy team doesn't use yellow. His purple ability will help us overwrite any of those countdown tiles or strike, attack, or protect tiles that happen to be on the board that we can't get to. And then of course his red ability probably won't be using to punch people in the face, to be using Gamora's. And then Rocket and Groot, again, they're pretty much self-explanatory. Green creates countdown tile on the board that makes an auto match for us, and then once the auto match is complete, they'll do damage based on oh my goodness, based on how long the strike, attack, or protect, the countdown tile is on the board. Like I said, you see Rocket just mowing them down with the strong strike tile. And then I got a countdown tile there from Rocket, based on the Milano. Really, it's supposed to be the Minotaur, but I digress. There's the free AP. Don't push this button. Let's do sleight of hand, and then we'll just punch him in the face. Alright. And then finally, why in the world do we got Ghost anyway? Ghost, our purple ability allows her to go invisible. Her red ability does target damage and then does additional damage if Ghost is invisible. And then if Ghost fires off a power, she reduces her match damage strength down to its to the base levels of a 4-star, but when the countdown tile disappears, her max damage is a lot stronger than most 4-star characters. Again, we get to use the Guardians of the Galaxy again, so yeah, let's use the 4-star version of Gamora, with her stun, and then her red ability, and then, Rocket and Groot and Star-Lord with their stuff. Alright, looks like, yep, there it is. There's the additional damage, and there we go. Alright, so there's 300 charge for me, and so that'll complete introducing more. I think I got some recruit tokens. I got one more out of that store there, so we'll look at that, and we'll call it quits. Expected nothing, didn't get anything out of return. I see that we got a few of the Halloween Halloween covers. So we can talk about those there real quick, and then I'll go. So each year during Halloween, there's a certain segment of the character population that gets brand new Halloween covers. So everybody from 3-star Daredevil, he gets something. Oh my goodness, there's Squirrel Girl with hers. And I'm trying to see here. I think that's it as far as the 3 stars. And the 4-star, as far as the 4 stars go, I know Captain Marvel, she's got hers from her ongoing series, which I need to read. I mean, I have it on my phone, but I gotta take the time out to read that. I know 4-star Punisher has his Frankencastle cover. Is that when he was killed by Daken? There's Carnage with his alternate cover. Like I said, there's Frankencastle. Is that with the Punisher? Though honestly, it's like that's technically wrong. It's like, if anything, that should have been the 3-star Punisher's cover, and not Punisher Max, because those two dudes there, they are in 2 entirely different universes, or multiverse, so to speak. You got Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze with Jack-O-Lantern on the cover. I don't know if Jack-O-Lantern would be a cool character to have, but whatever. There's Rain Sinclair with her X Factor cover. Misty Knight with Ravencroft. Looks like she's fighting a werewolf by night. And I know the 5 stars, they got some characters too. Namely, yeah, Spider-Man Peter Parker, though to be fair, really should have been the 3-star Spider-Man, but whatever. And Natasha Romanoff. I mean, again, they could be kind of grimy and do it with the 1-star Natasha if they really wanted to, and then the Spider-Man back in black. Though honestly, if they were to do the Spider-Man cover, they should have did the cover from Craven's Last Hunt, If there were Spider-Man's coming out of the grave, like that would have been a better thematic one instead of that one there. But anyway, I digress. So that's gonna end the video. Uh, no, not cell covers. Gosh, no. We got Gamora store coming in, as well as a retrain for Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes. So whenever that becomes live, I will talk about it, or I should say, whenever I play, I'll talk about it whenever it goes live. So you guys and gals have a good one, and I thought I was muted this whole entire time.